over here. Got a few things to speak about. I actually, for the first time this week, don't have a trade in the London session. I just felt we were a little bit overextended on the DAX. Already, the DAX open at my time is 9 a.m. and we already had a little bit of a fall off there, off a cliff overnight. So I just left it alone. I actually did have some nice shorts yesterday on it in the London session, so we can speak about that, speak about the what happened yesterday, a couple of reports that played out, and then yeah, let's go like this. Let's mute that person. Sorry, just make sure you guys are muted in the background there. Okay, so let's go over here. London session, as you can see, again, using opening range breakout with Edgeful, as well as the London Open VWAP you can see yesterday. Okay, so we can see that we did not take the highs out, even though we had a massive move up from the previous day. I took the shorts. I like the opening range breakout there. I got short actually over here, and I added into my position at the highs there, and we ended up coming down. I was actually full out of my position around about 426. We ended up dropping another 200 points lower, but you're never going to catch all of the move. This morning, we've actually taken out both sides of the opening range. We've taken out the lows, as you can see, with the 5-minute closure, as well as the highs. So I just felt we were a little bit overextended, and that's why the reason for me not looking to trade it this morning. Let's go over the US markets from yesterday. Let's go like this. Let's go to the ES chart. Or let's first go over actually my chart. I think I was in the trade for about a whopping 5 minutes. So let's speak about that. And let's go like that. So I actually took this opening range low short on the NASDAQ. Discretional trading, not the orb algo strategy. And I literally took it here at the break of that 5 minutes, and I was out down. So I was in at 184 and out at call it 155. So literally just 25 point scalp on the NASDAQ. And that put me, green on the day. And, for me, as I said, I've just been, and that was on some futures accounts. I trade the DAX on my CFD accounts. I trade the futures, the US markets on some futures accounts, right? So just a quick little scalp on that. I'm trading 3 150K accounts. And as you can see, nice little $573 across 3 accounts yesterday. Pretty neat. I'll take that any day of the week. But let's look at the orb strategy. The orb basically tells us for NASDAQ, basically how I'm looking at it. If the NASDAQ had a 60, let's just call it 60-point opening range yesterday, what you would be looking to target is 35 points to the downside, 0.5 hour of the orb, and I'll explain why now. You can see over here that we actually moved 36 points. We just moved over that 0.5 hour. The reason being, if you just go to the opening range, breakout, okay, and let's go to NQ in the last 6 months, we can actually see, let's go by levels, okay, we can actually see that quite often actually reaches that the 0.5, like 50% of the time, and I'll take that. Sometimes this is actually a lot higher, so I'm not too sure if I've changed. I was messing with the settings yesterday, so I'll have to go and check that out. But yeah, the orb algo strategy, again, very much so. A lot of the guys are targeting that 0.5 R of the orb. And again, let's have a look at that opening candle continuation, because I think this was quite an interesting one yesterday. We actually had the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first hour yesterday. Let's go like this. The first hour yesterday was actually bearish, but we ended up as a bullish closing day. So there's something that's going to be against the probabilities. I'm glad that I actually scalped this yesterday. Just a little bit of a break to the downside. And that's, again, just taking my money. I was up, $500 across 3 accounts. I just took it and we actually end up moving higher. Again, we are very much so in a bullish market at the moment. So that's why I was trading against the trend. I was like, let me just take that quick snag and bag and get out of it. This morning, we are obviously trading lower. So we'll see. We're underneath the overnight or daily start of day VWAP, which is the black line on my screen over here. Okay. We're trading underneath it. So we'll see. Are we going to get the move higher? I'm not too sure. But the DAX is obviously trading lower overnight. And it is going to be interesting to see what we get into the rest of the session. Let's just go over ES, because I know a lot of guys trade ES as well. I also enjoy trading ES. I mainly trade ES or NQ, whichever one is presenting. This one actually worked out very, very nicely. We get the opening range high break, and we end up getting a very nice extension to the highs without taking out both sides. So unfortunately, NASDAQ had a double break of the opening range yesterday, whereas ES did not. And that's where I think sometimes a lot of these guys that are trading with the Edgeful orbs have strategies for NQ, strategies for ES, strategies for gold. So it's a little bit of a different, they can diversify kind of their day trading portfolios. And that is the nice thing about being able to test the different strategies out. Again, for me, I was just one and done on my discretional trading on the NASDAQ, those shorts yesterday, and just using, again, simple break and retest of the orb. Again, also in the morning session on my CFD accounts, the DAX, again, as well. One break of that opening range, and we get going there too. When we have these double breaks, it does become a little bit more tricky, just from a perspective of, we could be shaking out. You don't want to be buying the opening range. Breakouts can be quite tough then because you are double breaking of that opening range. Any questions? How's your guys' week been so far? I've actually locked in some nice payouts for. I think that I can take them on Tuesday, and then looking to get some more over the line in the next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, see, what's up, Lee? Good to have you on, dude. So yeah, if you just look at, again, overnight price action, we actually, yes, we are trading lower, but we are back at we're middle of that opening range yesterday, and actually still above the price that I was looking to short at yesterday. From the CF, this is the cash index pricing, not the futures pricing. I shorted at 184, as I say, 180 yesterday, down to 155. So we are still above that, obviously trading at 222. So yeah, we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. I'll actually bring up the different pricing from the futures market pricing. Let's have a look at that. I've actually, the nice thing, I've locked myself out of my trades until actually, I think, just before market open. So let's see. But yeah, anyone got any questions? Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Captain? Good to have you on, dude. Yeah, shorts on the S&P. Let's have a look at that. As I said, personally for me, I'm not really looking to do anything kind of before market open, unless there's something really, really clean. Let's just go over some news. We got some news. Yeah, news is all done for the week as well. You can actually see I am locked out on my project X here. I've got these 150K accounts, the top one futures that I've locked myself out already on. So yeah. As you can see, nice lockout feature with that. So, okay, so yeah, you see, guys, just from a perspective of the shorts. I mean, look at where we are on the daily time frame. We are literally at all-time highs. Can we get a rollover? Of course, anything can happen in the markets. No one knows what's going to happen next. But I think from a perspective of just until we can maybe get like a breakdown, at least on ES, I would say at least below this level, like, yeah, it's been very, very strong support, 360, 350 zone. Then maybe we can start tumbling over. But again, I'm just going to read and react to what's happening in the market. Couple of reports that you guys can have a look at on Edgeful. Okay, that first one, that opening candle continuation, I always mention this. I think it's a great report to have a look at. It's one that I use every single day with opening range and VWAP. But this first hour is very telling to what could possibly happen for the rest of the day. Let's have a look at on ES in the last, or let's go to ES or even NQ in the last 3 months. First hour bullish 81% of the time. First hour bearish 64% of the time. So that's not that great in the last 3 months for the bearish, obviously, because we've been on a bullish run. But I think the best thing for me, as I said, I'm always trading opening range with VWAP, and I'll keep it as simple as possible. I had a bad orb fail this morning. Do you have an idea what confidence I can add to increase win rate? What orb were you trading this morning? Was it on the DAX? What market were you trading, Laura? And yeah, good. If you got any questions, make sure to put in the chat here. What were you trading, Laura? GC. Okay, cool. So in the London session, I'm assuming. London session on GC. Something that I love using with opening range is VWAP. Overnight VWAP, so we can see overnight VWAP, right? So daily VWAP, which is starting at the changeover of day, or the actual session open VWAP. So if you're trading London session, you add the London session open VWAP, or New York session, you add an anchored VWAP to the New York session open. So I would play around with VWAP. You actually can get it on TradingView here on the left-hand side. I've got it favorited, but you can get it on the left-hand side over here. It should be, yep, there we go. Anchored VWAP. So on the left-hand side over there, anchored VWAP. and you come and you actually anchor it. So yesterday would be the open. So 3:30 South African time is the open. You can anchor it. Take out the bands. I don't know why they're doing that now. Take out the bands, and you just can have the viewer, and you trade in line with that, right? So that's what I would have a look at personally. Lee, good man, bro. You've been rocking those instant accounts quite nicely with top one as well. Good week, but still flat today. DAX took off without me this morning, but stayed disciplined and didn't chase. I think that's probably the best thing about you, Lee. You don't chase your trades. You wait for your setups to arrive, and you pick your spots very, very nicely, dude. So keep it up. Yeah, nice. As I said, I'm waiting for, on 2 of my accounts, I'm taking out payouts, which will put me over 11K in prop firm payouts this month. Which, yeah, very, very nice. I think I spent $2,000, so $9,000 pure profits, right? So I'm just going to continue pressing, getting some more accounts next month, and then, as always, trading my personal cash account too. Some of those equity curves actually with these, I'll obviously have to lose these accounts. So I'm taking a full balance. So I'm just going to buy new accounts. So I believe personally, when accounts are available to be taken profits, take the full balance and go again, even if that means losing the accounts. So you can actually see this as a very, very nice equity curve. I think I've been trading this one for 25 days, 100K account, and I'm up $5,000, 5.18% profit. Yeah, so very, very nice, and just trading them. Do you ever trade the midpoint or reversal? If it's a large, or I don't personally. I'm literally just looking at opening range, and I'll try and trade in the direction that I would like to, from also like maybe a higher time frame perspective or level. But literally, I keep it simple. I trade opening range with the session view app. That's it. I actually try to avoid trades like middle of the range, Chris, personally. I find that sometimes I can get chopped up trying to, kind of like predict. Like, for example, on ES yesterday, I didn't take a trade on ES yesterday. But for me personally, like, I'd rather take a trade with breakout. I'd rather take the trade like over here compared to trying to take it down here. I find I get chopped up or messed around a little bit personally if I'm taking mid-range orb trades. But that's just me. Hey, everyone's got to find what works for them. There's no golden strategy or anything like that. It all comes down to the trader as a discretional trader. If you are trading the algos, let the algos do its thing. Don't interrupt them. Captain, if you trade London session, what key levels do you use? Because, yeah, I don't trade S&P and that in the London session. I trade only the DAX in the London session, and the opening range time in the London session on DAX is 3 a.m. Eastern time. That makes sense. Yesterday was a good example of NQ. I went long for a double break and closed at the high. Nice. Exactly. So, nice. Picking your spots, very, very nice. So you're on NQ yesterday. Let's get this up like this. Nice. Now that's where I maybe might take, that's like a failed breakdown of here, because I took my short quickly. Obviously, I closed out and locked myself out for the day. But you would have taken your trade essentially like this, right? Because I'm assuming like that. Maybe the stop at the low and you're targeting the opening range high. Brilliant trade. Makes sense. Targeting the highs, you got a risk-reward ratio to them. So I like that. Again, I think as long as you're picking the spots well in the market and you're not taking, you just need one to two good trades a day. I don't think you need to force, personally for me, you don't need to force it. You got 3 accounts, made $500 across 3 accounts. That's $1,500. Now all you got to do is get more accounts. If that's not enough for you, it's more than enough for a lot of people, right? So yeah, one good trade at a time. Once it showed intention, nice. I think that was a nice move. I took the shorts quickly and it snapped right back up into the range. Boom, you can take that with the move back to the opening range. I like that. Very, very neat. Okay, so again, like, just keep in mind we have been moving obviously higher a lot. Let's just have a look at the 50-minute time frame. Like, look at this. This could be another higher low, right? Here's the start of the week. Start of the week open price was down here at 23,074 cash index price. But look how we continue to move above weekly view app and all key, levels. This could easily be another lower high. Sorry, higher low before we move back above current week's highs. So, yeah, I think longs right now from a high time frame perspective definitely look like the play or buy side that you want to be. One trade a day is the way to go. What's up, Dwayne? Yes, sir. One trade, quick in and out. Don't need to be on the desk for long, particularly if you're trading with a lot of accounts. But I hope that you guys have a solid week. I'll be in the Discord rest of the day. If you want to come check out Edgeful's 7-day free trial, it is in the link in my bio. I'll put it over here too. And then, of course, I'm going to be live on ASFX TV as always. Geez, check out that beautiful face. But yeah, I'll be on ASFX TV as always. And then we got the 7-day free trial there too for your guys's to come check Edgeful out. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Have a solid Friday. Good week.